Are you feeling like having pizza right now? Then try bread pizza. It's quick and efficient. With a good sauce, the right bread, and some quality mozzarella, it's as easy as layering it all together. Bake it in the oven or in a pan. Part of this recipe I was inspired by RAGUSEA. You can check his channel for his version of this recipe. Now let us start building the flavor on the base with a good sauce. We need 4 cloves of garlic. Finally mince it and set some aside. On medium-high, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of butter. Those milk solids in the butter add a ton of flavor. As soon as the butter melts, we go in with our garlic. Let that cook until the garlic is soft, aromatic, but do not burn it because you're going to turn out with a bitter taste. A sprinkling of parsley and basil finished this off. And not to forget a good pinch of salt. By the way, do not make any notes. I'll be giving all the information in the description box. And now it's time to pre-toast our bread, which will help in both adding the flavor by giving us a tasty garlic bread, which is already yummy on its own, and also the sogginess department by giving us a crust on the bread. I chose bread rolls or brötchen, so do we call them here in Germany. I like the size and they produced good results. You can also use ciabatta or even toast. I'm going to show you that later. Now you're wondering why I'm compressing the bread. This is a tip that I learned from RAGUSEA. You can use anything that has some weight. It will help the bread to stay flat, so the bread will not curl when you're baking it. Although I did not experience this problem with these bread rolls, but for sure it's easy to bite into this compressed bread. As I'm waiting for my bread to slightly brown, I will prepare my cheese. Here I have fresh mozzarella, but I will show you later other cheese that I tried. Our bread is ready. I will put first a layer of mozzarella cheese. I found this method to give the bread another protection from getting soggy. I know we already pre-toasted the bread, but try this method and you will notice the difference. Plus, pre-baking the bread in the oven gave overall a better crunch. The bread remained crispy and tender, and not that crunch that is hard to bite through. As our bread was pre-baking, I was busy preparing our pizza sauce, which is simple but full of flavor. We saute our onions with a bit of olive oil. Now add some of that garlic that we had saved. We are on medium-high, continue stirring, stir. We don't want anything to get burnt. Then add in some plum tomatoes. Save some for later. Crush them a bit and then cook on medium-high. Add salt and some chili flakes, not too much of it. We are just trying to balance things here. Add some dried oregano, mix everything well, then go in with orange juice. I learned this too from RAGUSEA. The orange juice brings in some brightness and sweetness to this sauce that is hard to explain, but it's epic. After everything is lovely and cooked, now we are going to blend. I used a hand blender. Remember the tomatoes we saved? Time to add them. It helps that the sauce does not taste overcooked. And our pizza sauce is now ready for spreading. I have our pre-baked bread. The cheese is acting as a protection. Now spread the sauce as much as you desire. Add your mozzarella cheese and bake on a preheated oven, 220 degrees. Put the tray in the middle rack and bake until the cheese starts to slightly brown. I changed to upper rack for faster browning. Now let me show you how I prepared the garnishing. It's a mixture of parsley, basil, garlic and lemon zest. And to enhance the flavor of the whole pie, we garnish also with Parmesan cheese. The flavor stays intact by not exposing it to heat, and it's time to have a bite. I went ahead and I tried using mozzarella sticks for the first time. It's low in moisture. I got one that is partially skimmed as I could not get the full fat one. Here is a close-up. You can see the mozzarella sticks are more dry, firmer, and more stable compared to fresh mozzarella, which is soft, high in moisture, and milky. I also toasted the bread rolls only with butter and olive oil for a different taste, without garlic and herbs. I did put the pizza sauce without pre-baking the bread with cheese. This method was way faster as pre-baking the bread with cheese, but I missed that crunchiness, but it was not too bad. Then brush all the exposed bread with water to prevent them from getting burnt. This method works like magic. I did this to all the pizza bread that I showed at the start of this video, but I did not show that footage. Finally, it's time to compare the mozzarella sticks and the fresh mozzarella. Up in the oven 220 degrees for about 8 minutes. You see this one that has more brown. This is the one that I use mozzarella sticks compared to the fresh mozzarella, which is still more moist. My take, the mozzarella sticks are great if you can get the full fat ones. As I said, these were partially skimmed and the fresh mozzarella was creamier and tastier to my liking. I also tried different toppings. Oops, I almost burnt my bread. Pre-baking the bread with a base of cheese, this method was a winner. Quickly covering those exposed parts with some water. As soon as the cheese has melted, spread pizza sauce and topping of your liking. I am topping with some cherry tomatoes and some olives, and one I did with yellow bell pepper. The last one I topped with pre-shredded mozzarella cheese, which sometimes tend to burn as it soaks off moisture. I'm sure you have experienced this. I was lucky with this one. It turned out alright, although it did melt way faster as the fresh mozzarella. This is just a close-up of showing you how thick the bread can turn if you don't compress it. My bread pizza are ready, and I must say the one that I topped with vegetables were more satisfying because I had a thicker layer. There was more to bite into. Are you enjoying this so far? Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And now if you're wondering if you can try this in a pan, I got you covered. This time I tried toast bread, but any bread will do. I pre-toasted my toast with a bit of olive oil and butter, but not too much of it because this bread can soak a lot of oil and you don't want that. Then I added my pizza sauce and my toppings, which was cherry tomatoes, some bell pepper, olives, and mozzarella cheese. Keep your heat low because the butter tends to burn very fast and we still need some time to melt that cheese. Cover with a lid so that the heat from above can help the cheese to melt. Look, it turned out perfect, but without a crispy crust, which was not a bad thing at all. The cheese has melted nicely. I truly loved the taste of this cheese. A quick snack.